Thanks, Todd. My presentation this afternoon is about the Haitian exchange point. The funny thing is this exchange point, I've been talking about it for so long, but it's not yet operational. And I'm here to this afternoon to talk, to tell you about it, and how some of you can help us making this dream a reality. As I said earlier, we've been discussing about the Haitian exchange point since 1999, and there's a lot of people involved in putting in place this exchange point, particularly the RDDH. RDDH in French is Réseau de Développement Durable Haïtien. Let me try to explain what it is in English. It's Haitian Sustainable Development Project sponsored by UNDP. And in 2002, they tried to order a technical paper about how to make all the local ISP setting an exchange point. And in this paper, it was only a technical approach, and they had even found a location for this. For those of you who knows Haiti, particularly Port-au-Prince, there is a hill where all the internet service provider, they have their facilities, and this hill is its name is Boutillier, and all of major ISP or major data transmission company, they has their facilities right there on the top of this hill. The reason for this is because there is a lack of wired infrastructure in Haiti, and then most of the ISPs or data transmission company, they're using wireless technology. In this paper, there was no implementation policy, no implementation cost or entry fee. But because of all those lacks, we couldn't make it happen at this time. But let me tell you about the Haitian market at this time. The first company to start operation in Haiti, it's ACN, Alpha Communication Network. Maybe some of you heard about this company, and the services offered at this time was only email and web browsing. By 2002, there were 8 operational ISPs in the country, and but the regulator, the CONATEL, it's the National Council of Telecommunication, say more than 12 licenses has been granted. And let's talk about the Haitian market. It's a small market, mostly in, particularly at this time, it was in the metropolitan area of Port-au-Prince, the capital, and Cape Haitian, the second city. And most of their international link was, it was satellite. Today, the Haitian market has three big ISPs with 10 installed DS3 for an aggregate traffic of 300 megabit per second of incoming traffic for 100 outgoing traffic, 100 megabit. And 2 of those ISPs are competing for the residential market, and another one is working more with corporate business. And other particularities of this market, all of the ISPs have their upstream provider based in Dominican Republic, because there's no fiber optics land in Haiti right now. And they make the bridge with the Dominican Republic with microwave, with 7 gigahertz, I think, microwave link. And there is some local interconnection via bilateral pairing. I will I will talk to that. I will talk about that a little bit earlier. And price right now on the Asian market is very high. It's 1,000 US dollar a meg. But an important date in this market, it's October 28 in 2007, when something happened. They call it the web out, the so-called web out in Haiti. And what happened this day? In Dominican Republic, there are big hurricanes, Noel, and with a lot of towers for companies like Verizon, Tricom, and Centennial has been destroyed. And suddenly, all the three ISPs on the Asian market has no international connection. And it lasts for the shortest outage lasts 36 hours. Imagine somewhere there is no internet connection for 36 hours. And the ISP that was the more affected, it has been for 1 week. During 6 days, they couldn't have any connection to the international internet. And some use their satellite backup, but curiously there was no national communication because the ISPs has were not interconnected at this time. And this disaster revived the interconnection debates. More than ever, it became a must to have them interconnect. And 2 weeks later, they learned from this lesson. They start discussing about how to to settle reciprocal backup in case of service outage. And HTIC, the Asian Association for the ICTs, says this opportunity to lead the process to build the first Asian exchange point, and the discussion has been left over since 2002. And what we did at HTIC is very exceptional. And for the first time, we try to bring everybody around the table and make them discuss about the possibility to be interconnected in a multi-stakeholder approach. Let me tell you a little bit about HTIC. HTIC is the Asian Association for the ACD. It's an association with the ICD companies and professionals of the industry. And we have 50 members, more or less. And we are a non-for-profit organization. Sometimes we work with the government in a multi-stakeholder approach. Some other times we are fighting them. By example, last week they just come with a new tax for the call length to the mobile network, and it was supposed to be a 3.5 gods per minute. And to give you an idea, the cost for 1 minute by operator is 5 gods. The gods is the currency, the Asian currency. And then imagine 1 second, you are paying 5 gods for every minute when it's they are using CPP, calling party pays, and then 5 gods for 1 minute, and the minute length to the mobile network will cost 3.5 gods. And one particular of this market, it was it hadn't been like that all the time. We start to use CPP only by 2005, when the company named Digicel arrives on the market. Because for the other company, the two other company working on the Asian market, I'm talking about the mobile company, you are paying for either you are calling, either you are receiving a call, you are supposed to pay the same fee. But with the launching of Digicel in 2005, Digicel come into the market with the CBB principle, and then all the other company followed this approach. And after this disaster, there is a big dilemma between the ISPs. They didn't know what way to go. Do they have to go by participating to the IXPs or doing peering agreements? In November 2007, ATIC created a steering committee, and the mandate of this steering committee was to find a common ground agreement between all the ISPs, to write a technical paper about the IXP, and to elaborate policies and procedures. And on the other hand, in the early 2008, the main ISPs established the physical interconnection between them. So they left ATIC aside, and they are trying to work together between themselves. And in March 2008, Access-ID, one of the ISPs, and Multilink, another one, start bilateral peering. By June, the 22nd of June 2008, they experiment the backup procedure in a live scenario. Multilink has a problem with his upstream provider, which is Tricom in Dominican Republic. And then they start to send traffic to Access-ID, which is the other partner they start to peer with in March 2008. But even they are physically interconnect, there is no administrative agreement between those companies. It's odd, but it's like that. And ATIC has played a key role in this process. Even they left aside the discussion sponsored by ATIC, but in the meantime, ATIC had put in place some policies, some implementation procedures, and trying to protect the right of small ISPs to be part of the IXP. And in our effort to make this a reality, there is a former radio communication company, HICOM, that offers its facilities to host the IXPs. And we have some engineer from nsrc.org and University of Oregon that are intended to provide training and technical support for the launching that was planned for the January 2009. But because of a lack of planning on our part, the Haitian part, we can't, the date couldn't fit in the NSRC engineers agenda. But just to let you know, I just have some discussion with Steve Walter from University of Oregon, and we are trying to schedule a new training, BGP training, for March, tentatively. And there is what I personally call the invisible hand, because anything you are doing in AD for some reason, even you are doing a lot of efforts, you can't go ahead, and that's what I call that the invisible hand. In August 2008. There is a problem between Access-ID and Multilink SA. And when we're trying to debug what happened, to troubleshoot what happened between the two companies, and we found out that the fiber link has been vandalized. And after we fix it, it has been vandalized a second time, and two weeks later. So 2 times in less than 1 month. Since 2004, telecommunication d'Haïti, Teleco, the historical operator, signed a joint venture contract with Batelco, the state ownership company of Bahamas, to lay a submarine fiber cable between Port-au-Prince and Nassau. And guess what? 4 years later, it's remained commercially unexploited. That's what I call the invisible ends. And when we think about the future of the Haitian market, it's an imbroglio. That's why I call the WiMAX deadlock. Because the 3 companies I talked about previously, there are 3 small ISPs. And when I say, earlier I said big ISPs because of the country. And now, when you are talking about big water, they become small players. And those companies have limited cash flow. And the 2 mobiles operator, I'm talking about Digicel and Voila. Voila is a division of Trilogy International based in Miami. And 1 historical operator with an asset, the submarine cable, and the regulator with some obsolete regulatory frameworks. So let me give some further explanation about what I call the WiMAX deadlocks. The 3 ISPs that are operating in the country right now, they have all the 3.5 gigahertz frequencies allowed to allocated to them. And then when come Digicel and Voila, they need 3.5 gigahertz frequency to operate their WiMAX technology. And they made some requests from Conatel that is supposed to grant licenses to them. And it happens, they give them the license, and then they don't have any frequency to use with their technology. And then the regulator tried to take take off the frequency from the other company. And as you can imagine, there's a big tolley, and then they didn't accept to release their frequency, and they suggest to the regulator to force the 2 big companies, the mobile operators, to buy those companies, to buy the small companies, because it's the only way they can get their money back, even so they can't lose the money they already invest in the WiMAX technology. But the imbroglio is even they have the frequency, they don't have any license for to operate for the WiMAX technology. So that's why I call this situation the WiMAX deadlock. So my main goal was to tell you about the exchange point. We are 3 industry in committee. There is Stefan Bruno, Max Larson Henry, and myself. We still need more help to try to make it happen. And if you are willing to help us, I'm here. We can have a talk after this presentation. Thank you.
Todd Underwood, Packet Fabric. I think we have time for one question at least, because I have one question.
Yeah.
Is the WiMAX 2.5 gigahertz or 3.5 gigahertz?
2.5.
2.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Yes.
Okay. So if I can channel Ted Seeley of Sprint, he says 2.5 is bad enough and 3.5 must be complete garbage.
No, I don't think so. I think there is one SEN, the first, also got a license to operate WiMAX, and I think they are using the 2.5 technology.
Joel Yeagley. Well, first off, I wanted to say thanks, because it's not easy to talk about something that's a hard pull, and I think it's really good to get some experience with what people routinely face in developing markets when trying to deploy a new IXP. But my other observation was presumably most of your infrastructure is using unlicensed wireless spectrum. Have you had any luck with the 5.8 gigahertz unlicensed WiMAX?
Actually not, but all the operators are using 3.5 private license, and by example, the company I work for, which is Multilink, one of the ISPs, we are using Alvarion equipment. With 2.5 gigahertz, Walker 1000, Walker 3000. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.